Mention the year 1492 to a historian, and she will recall that was the year the Spaniards expelled the Jews from Spain, unless of course they, the Jews, converted to Christianity. Mention the year 1492 and Jamaica to a historian, and he will recall that was the year Queen Isabella commissioned the first recorded cruise ships to the Caribbean, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. The result of the cruise ships entering the harbors of the West Indies turned out to be no carnival for the Indians of the Caribbean, of course. This is not a 21st century, of course. One can do business anywhere. And with rapid communication and access to the world, it is not unusual to see workaholics with their notebooks, their iPad, cell phones, you name it. And they're everywhere, even on vacation. And, quite frankly, what's wrong with that? Here at Nell's Cafe in Kingston, I too could not resist the temptation to take advantage of the free Wi-Fi. The relaxed atmosphere was very conducive to work, and the food was excellent. Yes, I did share my pictures with friends, and yes, I kept up with the news worldwide. Interesting how nothing is local anymore. A sneeze in the Sahara is answered with a Gesundheit in India. And with the internet and the overload of information now, more than ever, the need is even greater to relax, you and your family. As for Jamaica, Discovery Bay is still there, which is interesting since it was never lost. Conversion to foreign religions is still an ongoing endeavor, but in Jamaica, Pocomania and Rastafarian religions are thriving. Jamaicans have a way of knowing who they are, and for many, compromising their identity is not an option. The people are Jamaicans. Yes, they owe their ancestry to many nations. Spain, England, Ireland, China, India, Syria, to name a few. And of course, Jews, Gentiles, Africans, and Germans are all mixed in there too. But all in all, it is the land of wood and water. Columbus was correct when he said to Queen Isabella when asked to describe Jamaica, "It is the fairest land eyes have ever beheld." Yesterday, Grace of Louisiana said, "It is the most beautiful country I've ever seen. To each his own." Each person visiting Jamaica will develop their own explanation about Jamaica. As for me, I have been there so many times that I've lost count, and each time I go, I say to myself, "Self, you must return as soon as possible." So, what is the charm of Jamaica? Some people say it is the country, lush green forests with the sound of exotic birds and cool running streams. With hills so green, one has to wear shades. The beaches are plentiful, and many are silent and unused. Silent except for the sound of the water lapping the land. One needs only to walk the beaches, hear the waves like the rhythm of the heart, and feel the warm waters between the toes to know exactly what I'm talking about. You may not know anything about angels singing in the sky as they play their harps and drink milk and honey, but you will have a very good indication of what heaven must be like as you experience Jamaica for yourself. The ecology is so appreciated by the people that they rarely will pick more than they can eat. After all, the birds must eat too, and there's food aplenty in the forests in Jamaica. When you get there, take a hike, literally, and see for yourself. But I know what you're thinking. How can one do that? Where does one stay? How much does it cost? There are so many questions. There are answers if you're willing to invest the time and energy. Just use the internet. Google Microdac Jamaica and see the videos for yourself. Then of course you'll want to make a friend in Jamaica. I'll share my dear friend Errol with you. Errol and his wife Grace would love to see you. Make a phone call. Call Errol if you're in Jamaica. The number is 876-472 5255. Or from the States, you may want to call 253-330-2884. I know it does sound like an ad, but trust me, the Jamaican Tourist Board has no idea who I am, and they could care less. As for me, I believe that when you find a good thing, share it with the world. And when you find a good person, cling close, very close to him or her, and never let go. Errol was kind enough to invite me back to Jamaica. Free food, free hiking trips, a free tour, meeting so many local herbalists and Real Jamaica. And he was kind enough to let me stay at his place at the Tapioca Village Retreat. Google that and you'll see what I'm talking about. As for the cost for staying there for 5 days and 5 nights, I cannot tell you because it is way so low. But give Errol a call and tell him that you heard about it through Microdac, and then be pleasantly surprised yourself. Because if you're a friend of Microdac, you can stay there too. For 1 week it's under $400 and just about everything is included. But of course times change and people change and circumstances change. So don't take my word for it. You better call and get the current cost. So tell me, what is it about Jamaica